Welcome back. We are looking at the last episode called Fallout in the series called The Prisoner, featuring Patrick Magoohan. Apologize on some of my other videos. My camera sort of fades in and fades out. I don't know what the problem is. I have a simple camera here. It's a good one, but nevertheless, my videos are not of the highest grade, and there are plenty of others out there with great editing skills and great equipment. So if you're watching this, I do want to thank you. Anyhow, we're at the last video, or the last episode, and we have seen three forms of rebellion. First, the youth. Second, the establishment, biting the hand that feeds, so to speak. And then the last one, of course, is Magoohan himself, or number 6. And it would be the sort of evil person within, the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Well, anyhow, let's take a look at this and we'll talk some more.
Confirm contact priority. Contact priority. Agency. Contact control. Contact control. Emergency. Contact. Contact control. All personnel together.
Now you notice all three come together, the three forms of rebellion. The good self within number 6, Patrick Magoohan. The establishment represented in number 2, and the youth. And they're all coming together to kind of destroy the system. And of course we hear the Beatles' famous song, All You Need Is Love, suggesting that the world can get along with its own humanism and nothing at all to do with a Christian faith. So the place that served as his prison, namely the village, is now in trouble. The whole system, in a sense, is coming down because of what took place in the previous scenes that we have been watching in this final episode. Now see, there's the three of them. Patrick Magoohan, number 6, the good self, not the evil self. Number 2, representing the establishment, and then number, I think it's 48, representing the youth, being driven by the butler. So, you know, the old mystery movies, the butler did it. So I'm going to go back to my original thesis, which is the devil is number 1, and the devil is represented in the butler. If you've noticed, he doesn't ever says anything. He's very subtle. And you notice how he was assisting in the battle. And now he's driving the, looks like a railroad car with our 3 heroes. Now this might represent a victory parade. The ancient Romans, when they conquered some land, they would come back to their home area and they would have a victory parade featuring the generals, and then behind them, of course, would be all the captives that they acquired in their conquest. So this might sort of be like a little victory parade as we're going to see this thing proceed into traffic. So symbolically, the butler is empowering the 3 so-called heroes, but he's the power. And I would say throughout the videos, throughout the episodes, it has always been the butler who is number 1, who represents the devil. That's my thesis. I know this show was designed intentionally to allow people to think creatively. The problem was that many people could not even begin to unpack this thing, to decode this thing. So the gates of hell, so to speak, are going to be busted open here, and prisoner is going to be set free. That's the title of my channel, The Village Prisoner Set Free. So would like to have you be set free from the hoax lie system that imprisons all of us. Now that might also represent here the space hoax, the hoax of people blasting off and going to the moon, that type of thing, meaning that it's a hoax that he's pulling on you, namely Magoohan, and he doesn't want to really initiate you into the system that there is a world called the occult, and anybody who's willing to surrender their mind and surrender their life to the devil, there'll be a great part in this system. So it's a hoax that Magoohan is pulling on you, that you are told that the real number one is the good self, or the Dr. Jekyll, not the Mr. Hyde. Okay, rover is done. And that was a weather balloon that they used.
If you want to be in someone's arms tonight, just be sure the answer.
Okay, so they're repeating the music of the youth, which brings about the imagery of Ezekiel 37, the bones rising and coming together and forming a whole new Israel, forming a whole new society. Now, of course, the three individuals are going to be sort of paraded as victorious, but the curious thing about it is those are prison bars on the truck. And of course the truck is being driven by the butler. So I think the whole thing is a hoax, even on the viewers, even on the great fans who've loved every episode. Magoohan, who's obviously high up in the world of the occult, is not going to really tell you plain out the devil rules this world. See, it's almost like they're animals in a cage, but they're happy because they think that they're victorious. But look, they're behind bars. So it's from one prison to another prison. So the youth is going to go back to being a youth, and he's going to hitchhike and so forth. Now Now another subtle clue is the bell around his neck, and a bell is symbolic of Baal in the Old Testament. Of course, this is a phallic symbol that we're going to be looking at here in London, meaning even the establishment is under the power of Baal, or the Old Testament version of the devil, the god of the Canaanites. So the illusion that's being pulled off on the viewers and the fans is everything's great now, right? Not really, because the devil is still in charge. As if number one, the devil, meaning right in front of you to the right with the bald head, the little guy, is watching and allowing everybody to now fall under another deception, that is, that everything is just fine. That's my thesis now. I'm not sure, and everybody kind of goes in a little different direction, and Patrick Magoohan would have said, yeah, that's exactly what he wanted when he created this series. But the real dilemma was that many folks couldn't connect with it at all. So I'm not too sure of exactly what's going on with this nonverbal in the background, with number 6 talking to the police officer. But nevertheless, Butler remains motionless and is just watching. And of course the youth are singing their song, and number 2 went back to being part of the establishment, but yet the butler is still watching and still in control no matter what. Okay, now watch. Angela Muscat goes into the house marked number 1. You see it up there? You see it on the door? Number 1. And he goes in. Now he gave Magoohan back his car, he gave back the establishment, London, and then he gave back the youth, hitchhiking and music and so forth. But he's still in charge. The devil rules the world. But he's been defeated by the Lord Jesus Christ. And that's the good news